Well, let's start on the bright side. I think there was a very promising spell in the first half, a good half hour or so, middle of the first half. But I think the best I've seen those players this season. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I thought first half, after the first 10 minutes we were a bit ragged, gave a poor goal away, again should have defended it a lot better, but then for about half an hour, well, most of the rest of the first half, we played really well. We got the ball down, we played it. We knew that they would try to play a long ball game, and they did that. And fairness, for the rest of the half, we stood up to that and dealt with it and got the ball down and played in midfield. I thought Lewes had a great game. Kane Wills played very well when he got into it. Had a chat with Kane, and I think the problem was that he didn't play for long enough, so 10-15 minute spells, and then he allowed the game to drift by him. And we need him. He's a very fit lad, so he'll keep going for 90 minutes, but we need him on the ball a little bit more than he was today. I thought Lewes was probably as near to our best player as anybody. I thought and Pullers, who's played with Flume, played very well too and battled hard, but we really did play well in that period. There were glimpses of David Wheeler coming back to his best.
Right, I was going to say you're playing with two wingers today, and I think it seemed to have very good balance, particularly in that spell. Do you enjoy playing with two wingers?
We like to try to get the ball wide and play with wide players. I'm a little bit concerned that we've become a little bit predictable and that we play in channels. We've got our four in midfield and everybody plays in their own little channel, and we need to change that a little bit, and perhaps one of the areas we need to do that is up front. We need Rob Bradwell battling very hard on his own, and we've got one or two forwards coming back to fitness, and perhaps if we can get a little bit more up front and become a little bit less predictable, then I think we'll do better. But we do like to play with the wide players, but what we tried to do this game was to play our wide players a little bit higher up the field, and I think in that spell towards after the first 10-15 minutes we did that very effectively. The problem was second half, it's great to have 3 or 4 players coming back, but when you've got that, you actually get into a situation where you've got 4 players, 4 to 6 players who were tiring all at the same time. There's only 3 substitutions you can make. David Wheeler was very tired at the end of the game, as was Breachy, but at the moment, we've only got a limited number of defenders available to us. So, we changed it, brought Werbs off about 70 minutes and put Becky on. We just felt that we were getting tired, and we made a couple of changes, which did brighten things up a little bit, but not enough.
Right. First, let's talk about the 3 goals. Another early goal, that must have been disappointing to give away.
Well, it's disappointing to give away early goals, but it's disappointing to give away goals that you shouldn't be conceding. It was poor defending. Leon gave the ball away about 5 or 6 yards outside his own box, which is not the first time we've done that and conceded. And from then onwards, it was further error. Ollie Rowe, I thought generally had a good game playing at left back, which is his accustomed position. Allowed the guy to get inside him, and then he's only through with Winnie to beat. Twice or 3 times we could have dealt with that earlier. Yeah. So it's not just conceding early. I mean, if you concede a great goal early on, then there's not a lot you can do about it. But you concede poor goals like that any time, and you're not going to be happy about it.
Okay, and let's go on to our goal, because that was quite a cracker, wasn't it? Can you describe it?
Oh well, the movement generally. I think we started off down here at left back, and we worked the ball across the pitch via Lewes side, via Wormel, Kane Wills had an involvement. We got it out to Wormel, and the great thing about it, and the reason we scored, mainly was because we actually whipped the ball in very early, and you know they've got 3 or 4 monsters at the back there. But if you whip it in early and you've got somebody sharp like David Wheeler getting in front of people, there's not a lot you can do about it. And it was an exceptional goal, not just for the finish, but you know, as I say, we played it right across the park, and that was typical of the play that we had in the first half. There were a couple of instances where some great little passing movements, and we've hit great ball 2 or 3 times, great balls inside their right back for Leon to run onto, and unfortunately the delivery wasn't quite so good. But there were some really encouraging signs there. But you know, we need more of our players, our big players, back, and hopefully over the next week or 2 we'll do that, and we'll get that, and we'll be all right once that happens.
Right, yeah. Bit of a gutter. 6 minutes to go. How do you defend with a 6'5" monster like that? What could we have done better than that?
Well, we did defend that sort of play all afternoon. Breachy put his hands up at the end and said, you know, his legs had gone. He's one of the ones who's coming back from injury, and didn't get across the guy early enough. When you're jumping against somebody like that, you've got to make sure you get in front of them, and in particular you jump earlier than they do. And Breachy said as soon as he got a fraction of a second before me, I knew that there was nothing I could do about it, because once somebody's above you and over you, you can't jump.
To explain, he was a monster of a guy, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, you know, but we defended, and you know, I don't like criticising referees, but that's got to be one of the poorest referees I've seen at this standard of football. For about 4 corners before that, the 2 centre-backs just roughed Chris Winterton up, just didn't attack the ball, attacked him, and you just feel at some stage they're trying to stop Winnie coming for them, and he got no protection at all from the referee. But having said that, you know, that's not the reason we lost. The referee, I thought, was poor for both sides.
Right, yeah. I mean, he missed an obvious corner, and there was a free kick to us.
There were umpteen occasions, you know, where they kept saying, and the linesman, sorry, we made a mistake. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not going to. Everybody makes mistakes, but not that number in a game. But as I say, don't want to dwell on that, because that's not the reason.
Okay, let's finish on an upbeat. It's the club's birthday game on Saturday. Expecting a big crowd.
Hoping for a big crowd. It'd be nice to have got a result today. Great achievement for the club. Great things happening at the club. Big crowds coming back. New people involved like yourselves, which is great for the club. What we need to do is get it right on the pitch, and hopefully we can do that, and it'd be lovely to do it next week.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.